So it's been a while since, we connected to go over the podcast, and I obviously enjoyed having that conversation with you so much that I'm looking for opportunities to continue it again and again and again. So, how have things been going since we last spoke?
So probably like everybody else, a little bit of ups and downs just in managing everything and pivoting and trying to be patient with the process, all of these things. But also a lot of wonderful things coming out of it. Just working from home. We were just talking about that and puppies and things that show up on calls and just loving to be able to get outside for 15 minutes and throw the football with my son in the middle of our work day and school day and come back in and my fingers are freezing and jump on a call. I mean, that keeps things interesting and fun too in a different way.
Oh, for sure, definitely. And one thing that I've been doing lately myself is I'm starting to collect some stories. I want to help people understand what what levity can look like in their environments,
Mhm.
and we're all working in different environments. I mean, a lot of us are working at home now, so the world is your oyster, honestly. But I want to give people an opportunity to think about it in a completely different way. It doesn't
Mhm.
always have to be the ping pong table in the office. It can be something completely different. So I'm inviting people into this space to share stories, share inspiration. Hopefully, it will inspire one of you to do something new today.
Mm.
So, Shonda, with that said, what is your story? What would you like to share with everyone today?
Being home with the family 24/7 because I have I'm just about 19 and 9-year old, two kids. And so the college age and the third grader is the boy who is extremely active. And so he keeps me playing and levity, whether I like it or not, whether I want to get
I
outside,
believe.
yes. But that is a gift for sure because I do enjoy doing it, but I probably wouldn't get off my chair and get outside and do it quite as often if he weren't nudging me. So just those few minutes of taking, even 5 or 10 minutes to get outside is huge. And that is really how I shift gears because I can be more serious and productive and sort of like get it done. And I love that, but I also can really get hyper focused into that. So, like, it sort of feels like I'm being pulled out of that, but it does pull me into levity. That and like music for me is really big in terms of shifting my mood and letting me feel more
Mm,
playful and fun. So
yeah.
that's a big one too because things can feel a bit monotonous. I talk to a lot of women and people about just this hamster wheel of monotony, which used to be overwhelm and it still can be, but it's also like that groundhog day. So this is why
Right.
this is so great. How do we bring a little bit of novelty or newness in? And I do love to play outside. So we've been exploring a lot of different parks and hiking routes and things like that we wouldn't have done before necessarily. And also on my own, even though it doesn't sound very, I don't know, maybe I don't know what it sounds, but just even me taking myself and saying I'm going to go for 2 hours and explore a trail I've never been on before feels a little kind of badass. I don't know, like I'm doing this
Yeah.
myself. I feel a little bit brave.
You
So
never know what you're
that,
going to find.
well, yeah, hopefully no bears or anything, but that kind of thing. I mean, I think just anything we can do that's stepping out of our comfort zone. And, if you've ever thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to, I don't know, fill in the blank and just try it? Because I always say to people, you're just experiment. And if you hate it, don't ever do it again. It's fine, but try it.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I know for me, walking has been sort of my saving grace this year. And I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, we've got to walk. It's like walk number 5, but we have to
Right.
get out there. We have to walk. And now that I've learned about the wonderful word of called hiking, I
That's new to you.
no, no, it's new to me because for the longest time, my picture of hiking was you have to be on a mountain somewhere or
Yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere. And I thought, I don't do that. Hiking is not my thing. Like I've never hiked. And then someone explained it to me and I said, "Oh, I hike all the time. I hike every day. And now I ask my husband, do you want to go hiking on the sidewalk? Let's do this.
Do you put
And
your backpack on? I don't know, snacks
yes,
and
yes,
water bottles. Yeah.
just make it happen.
Yes, exactly. That's
That's
funny.
awesome. I love it. I love it. I love that you're using nature
Mm.
to break up the routine, to get out there, to do something that's just a little bit different. And I was going to ask you, what do you feel like is kind of one of the reasons that people don't do more of that? Do you think it's a fear of doing something new, or is it that they're too busy, or maybe they don't feel like they have the freedom and ability to go do it? Like what do you think holds people back?
Well, I think it's probably some of all of those things you've talked about, depending on the person. Sometimes it's like a great thought, I'm going to do that tomorrow, and then it does feel uncomfortable, so we just stay in our comfort zone. So it's sort of like making that commitment or getting accountability buddy, somebody to help you kind of push through and just say it does feel uncomfortable sometimes. Like I'm saying, like it sounds, well, again, I don't know how it sounds, but it seems so simple for me to go and hike by myself on a trail I've never been, but I really do need to push myself because I'm like, maybe I'll just stick with what I know because it's
Yeah.
comfortable. So trying something new can feel uncomfortable and scary, and but just to push through that. So I think that's a piece. Sure, there, some people feeling like they don't have access to that, or it's, nothing's close by. But yeah, and I think habit. I think sometimes we've gotten so good at adulting that we don't remember what it's like to be a kid and play, and we do need to
Mhm.
remember to play. And having kids for me has helped me because I think like I said, I veer more toward the serious and cerebral. So, but having kids, you're kind of like, well, I guess I'm just doing this. So, you kind of, stop caring about what you look like or if you're going to look silly or foolish because you're kind of down in there doing it with them.
Right. And one thing that's really interesting about kids too is, I like to follow the whole idea that I want my child to have certain confidence about them. I don't want them to ever go out feeling like, oh, I can't do this, or that's not for me. So you're right. Sometimes I know personally that puts me in a situation where I might be doing things that I would tell myself, no, that's not for me. I can't do that.
Right.
But
Right.
if I act like it's not for me, I can't do that, then what kind of message am I sharing with them? So
That's right.
you're right. Kids are a great way to kind of pull pull that out of you and force you to rethink some of those values that you have, and reinforce some of the values that you have. So I love
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, it just reminds me of I was a perfectionist growing up, and so I wouldn't try things because I didn't want to look silly, or if I didn't know I could, if I wasn't sure I could be good at it right away, I wouldn't try it. I was really wanted to just do it right away, and
that
so
makes sense.
that's kind of what you're talking about too, and I think that could be a reason that some of us still in adulthood hold back because we think, well, I'm not going to be good at that. Or, even just picking up a paintbrush. I mean, still for me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, but it can be fun when you get going. Maybe you need a few sips of wine or something if it helps you get going, but whatever that is, but again, to just get started, often that's sort of the biggest piece.
Oh, it's so important. It's
Yeah.
so important. So your focus is on mindfulness, and I would like to kind of wrap up, like put a nice little bow on this. How do you see mindfulness sort of connecting with levity?
Mindfulness is allowing what's here and just being rather than being, doing. And so when we let go and allow and just organically see what happens, that's a lot of where levity can show up. Because if we're hanging on and we have expectations, or again, we're so serious, or it has to be a certain way, then that's not really much fun sometimes. So levity comes with that space and that allowing and permission to let it be whatever it's going to be.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. And I want to thank everyone else for joining us on this quick sort of just check in with yourself today.
Mm.
Find a way to get out there, be playful, go outside, hike on the sidewalk. You
Yeah.
can do it.
Yes.